everyone, and welcome back. If it looks like I'm in a different location, it's because I am. I'm right now at my girlfriend's house. We are moving in just 3 days. Isn't that crazy? So I've seen the comments, I have seen your DMs, and I know you want some dope tutorials, and that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. I'm not too sure what to call this. It could be like the phantom card trick or the chosen one. It's super easy to do, and most likely everything you need to build the gimmick is right there with you in your house right now. I read this in a book at the magic shop I used to work at 10 plus years ago. By now, I'm pretty sure it's public knowledge because it was in this little tiny book from like the 70s. With that said, let's take a look at the performance.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
All right, so we had to move this whole thing indoors.
Indoors, indoors, indoors.
Because it started to rain outside, plus there's a lot of planes going by. We're right near JFK. And I think the best way to film this is gonna be through Kristen's perspective. So in a minute, I'm gonna give her the camera and you guys can watch it POV style. Kristen, first thing, these are all different, say yes.
Yes.
Okay. And these are all the same, say yes.
Yes.
Very good. Hold on to the deck. I'll get this camera off the tripod. And oh, look at that, we're vlogging. Take the camera, get yourself adjusted. You're good?
Yes.
Now, in a moment, I'm gonna start riffling through it like this. Just say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right, take a look at the card. Got it?
Yeah.
Place it down right in the middle. Now watch, if I'm gonna take these cards and I'm gonna drop them, you'll see they start landing pretty close to my side right here. But in a moment, there's gonna be one card that jumps from this pile and it's gonna fly closer to you. Keep your eye on the cards. For the one that flies close to you, you can see the rest of these cards are all gonna fall right by me. One card flies to you. And check it out, what was it?
8 of clubs.
I love it when that works.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
So here's what you'll need to build this gimmick. A piece of cardboard or something to cut on, a chapstick, a standard deck of cards, and an X-Acto knife. This could be done with any deck of cards, but I like using these because it helps cover up the gimmick. So right now, the gimmick is on top of the deck. I'll basically explain how the gimmick works, and then I'll show you how to build it. So this is just a standard playing card, but if you could see sort of on the edge, it's tough to see on camera. Let me see if I could focus in right here. There's an extra piece of card right here. You can see it there. You see how there's an extra flap there? I like using the B cards because it blends in and you really can't tell when it's when the gimmick is there and when it's built. The spectator can even handle this and odds are they're not gonna notice that there's a gimmick there. So how it works. Basically, once you have the gimmick built, it's very important when you drop the cards, you're dropping them flat. Don't wanna drop them perpendicular, you wanna drop them flat because that's gonna make them go directly down. You're gonna keep doing that every time, but then once you get to the gimmick card and you'll feel it because it's gonna be a little bit thicker, when you drop this, it's gonna always fall to the side where the gimmick is. So for example, right now, the gimmick is right here on the right side. When I drop this down, it's gonna cause the card to slide and glide across the floor. So instead of going straight down, it'll go down halfway, it'll look like it's going, and then it'll just swoosh right to the side, which you saw in the performance video. And that's basically how the trick works. You could even do this upside down. I've done that before where I have the cards here, and I'll go through them and say, oh, when you see your card, don't say anything out loud, but when you notice it, something's gonna happen. And then when I drop it, it flies right to their feet. Literally, I've seen this before where it flies right to the edge of their feet, and it's just an amazing miracle. Like their card chose them. It just flew right to them. Let me show you how to set up the trick, and then we'll get into how you have to build the gimmick. The gimmick itself, basically this could go anywhere in the deck as long as you can force a card. The simplest way to do it is how I did it in the performance. You take the force card, it goes to the bottom of the deck. So that's where your gimmick is. It's on the bottom. You're gonna do a Hindu shuffle or a Hindu force, and that's basically where you're cutting cards off the top of the deck, but that bottom force card is remaining the same. You'll have the cards, you can say, oh, they look shuffled. You just give a little flash there, like, oh, cards are mixed. You can even do some shuffles if you want, as long as you can keep this card controlled to the bottom. But I'll get into that in another video. So once you get into the force, you'll have them say stop whenever they want. A little tip, you want to try and get this packet to be really slim. You don't want to have a whole lot of cards on top of theirs, because then the trick will get boring really quickly. Because as many cards as you cut, that's as many as you want to be dropping to the floor. So once they say stop and you've got a small little packet, you square it up, you show them the card, you got the force card, in this case it's the 8 of clubs. This whole thing goes on top, just like that. Now that puts you in position to do the performance part of the trick, is where you're just dropping the cards one by one, letting them fall, and then eventually you're gonna get to where that gimmick card is. So this is the gimmick, and you can see that's where the flap is. You can see the shadow of it. Once you get here, you wanna keep the same rhythm. You don't wanna act suspicious in any way, so you're gonna keep the same rhythm. Once you get to here, same thing, you just drop it and let it fly to the side. You can either then have them turn it over, or you could say, what was your card? And you go to pick it up and reveal their chosen card, which is the force card. So in this case, it's the 8 of clubs.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
So let's get into how you build the gimmick. You need a glue stick or a chapstick. I like chapstick, it ends up working really fine, and you can find this anywhere, where a glue stick is sometimes a little bit harder to find. And then you need an X-Acto knife or a very sharp pair of scissors. I suggest investing and getting one of these for like $2. It'll really help with constructing the gimmick. First, you're gonna pull out a court card. So in this case, we'll just use the King of Hearts. Yes, you have to sacrifice one card to build this gimmick, but it's a small price to pay for such a good effect. What you want to do is you're gonna cut the court card right where the border meets this area right here. So this blue line across the border, that's where you're gonna cut across, and that's the length of the gimmick right there. So I'll do that for you now. And you want to go slowly with this, because you do want to get it very precise. It's okay if it's not perfect, but all you're really doing is tracing, because all you're doing is going over the blue line. You give it a little bit of a bend, and it should come right off. If it doesn't come off right away, just go over once again with the X-Acto knife. And it should come right off. So there's part one of your gimmick, is that little strip right there. Come on, focus. There you go. Sorry, I had to do like a beauty guru thing. That's your gimmick right there. Now you're gonna take your force card, we'll make it the 3 of hearts, and now you're gonna line this little piece up to either side. You're gonna line this piece up to whichever side looks better. So where the diamonds line up, it happens to be on the right side. You can see it pretty much disappears right there. If you put it on this side, it might not look as good. But that's just gonna come with practice. Like, see how that one sticks out a lot more? So this one, in our case, is going to be the right side of the card. Always make sure to cap your X-Acto knife. You don't want any accidents. Now, on the cutting board, you're gonna take the chapstick. You want to get a good liberal amount and just spread it all across that corner of the card. And you're going to take your gimmick piece right here, and you're going to apply that right to the edge of the card. Once that's applied, you just want to take some pressure and make sure it's all completely squeezed in. And now normally what I would do is I would just take an item, a heavy item, and place it on top. So in this case, I'll just take the cut up card, since I don't want to get the chapstick on any of my good cards. I'll take the cut up gimmick card, I'll place it down, put the deck on top, and then I'll just do something like put my phone on top or something heavy, and I'll leave it there for 24 hours. Now, that's not necessary. You can leave this for just a couple of hours and it'll work the same way. But I feel like if you do a full 24 hours, it'll really adhere there. I mean, this isn't glue. This is literally just chapstick. And this gimmick is not coming off. I've been performing this all day, and it'll last. It'll last a really long time. So like I said, super simple to construct. Pretty much you have everything you need already with you at your home. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you're gonna try out. And if you do, record it, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see you guys do the performing. And just a quick reminder, the Ace Fulton deck giveaway is still going on. You still have a chance to win. I'll put the link to that video in the card right there. Yeah, click this right here. You can find out how to win. I'm gonna be giving away that deck once that video hits 50 likes. I'm gonna be announcing the winner on my Instagram at Thomas Hayden, so follow me there for all the exclusive updates. If you are enjoying the twice weekly videos, it would mean a lot to me to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up, as it really does help me out. Also be sure to hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Thomas Hayden, and as always, remain magical.